This is your boy Big Dog, and in this episode, we're going to talk about the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant, aka the Black Mamba. This is NBA Greats episode 2. Let's get it. Kobe Bryant, out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, son of former NBA player Joe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, he was drafted as the 13th pick overall by the Charlotte Hornets in the 1996 draft, but of course he was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. He was only 17 years old and fresh out of Lower Merion High School in Philadelphia, where he won a state championship, and he also won the Naismith Player of the Year award and the Gatorade Player of the Year award as well. And of course he was a McDonald's All-American. A lot of people knew Kobe came out of high school, but he was the first guard in NBA history to be drafted out of high school. Lakers also signed Shaquille O'Neal that year in free agency. So during the 96-97 season, man, that was Kobe's rookie year. He didn't really play much. He averaged just a little over 15 minutes a game. But he had a career highlight, man. He won the NBA Slam Dunk contest, and he also made the All-NBA Rookie second team. So he had a pretty decent rookie year, pretty good rookie year. Now it ended in the playoffs where Shaquille O'Neal fouled out, and Kobe Bryant, man, they put the ball in Kobe's hands. He shot, I believe it was 4 air balls. The Lakers ended up losing that series in the playoffs, and Shaq said Kobe was the only one that had the guts to take the shots. And you would think a situation like that, where he shot 4 air balls, would destroy his confidence as a young teenager in the NBA, but nah, man, it helped Kobe strive for greatness even more. Let's move on to 1998, man, with Kobe Bryant. He was still coming off the bench, but his playing time increased, and he went from averaging 7.6 points per game to 15.4 points per game. He was the runner-up for the NBA Sixth Man of the Year, but he became the youngest NBA All-Star ever in the NBA. And he was a starter, even though he wasn't a starter on his own team. So that shows you how great he was and how much people love Kobe Bryant. You move on to the 1999 season, man. They traded away Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel. Those was 2 players he mainly came off the bench to play behind. And Kobe became a starter at the shooting guard position, and Kobe flourished in a bigger role. Lakers Shaq and Kobe combination, it officially became the Shaq and Kobe show. They got swept in the second round that year by Tim Duncan and the Spurs, but Kobe, he finished the season averaging right at 20 points a game and 5.3 rebounds, 19.9 points, 5.3 rebounds. Alright, man, we go to the next 3 years, man. It was all about Shaq, Kobe, and the Lakers. They hired Phil Jackson to be the head coach to help them get over that hump and become legit NBA championship contenders, and it worked, man. Phil Jackson brought in triangle offense, and Kobe and Shaq were just unstoppable. Kobe became All-NBA defense, All-NBA. Kobe improving as a player. Shaq being the most dominant player in the post, probably since Wilt Chamberlain. And yeah, man, it was just the Shaq, Kobe, Lakers show, man. So then the next season, they didn't get to the championship, but they re-up for the 03-04 season. They signed Karl Malone and Gary Payton, 2 of the greatest players to ever play the game. They both were out of their prime, but they still were really good players, and they was the odds-on favorite to win it all. They got to the finals, but that Detroit Pistons team, that defense, go back and watch some of the old Pistons game. That was some of the greatest defense I've seen in NBA history in my lifetime. If there's a defense that was better than them, let me know. But that Pistons team, they beat the Lakers 4-1. It was a disappointment, especially with Karl Malone and Gary Payton. They were ring chasing. You know, they played the game, you know, for a very long time, putting a lot of work, but they never won the championship. And they thought they can get one with LA, and then they ran to the Pistons, man. And so Lakers got gentlemen swept of 4-1. After the 2003-2004 season, Karl Malone retires. Shaquille O'Neal gets traded to the Miami Heat. Gary Payton ends up on the Boston Celtics. And Kobe Bryant was the only star left on that team, man. He averaged 27 points a game, 6 boards, 6 assists in the 04-05 season, but the Lakers can only get 34 wins, 48 losses. In my opinion, it was actually a success. You know, I know Kobe Bryant wouldn't want to hear that, but you know, if you look at that roster, man, that roster wasn't really good at all. The next year, man, Kobe took it up another level. He averaged 35 points a game, man. I mean, it seems like every time you turn on ESPN, they're talking about Kobe scoring 35, 40, 50. The man scored 81 against the Raptors, bro. The man scored 81 points. I think he had another game, he scored like 62, I think it was against the Dallas Mavericks, if I'm not mistaken. He got him to a 45-37 record. If you look at that Lakers roster, like Kobe, I'm no disrespect to those players, but their roster was kind of triznash, man. It was kind of trash. Kobe led them to a 45-37 record, though. And Steve Nash, not saying he wasn't a great player, but a lot of people feel like Kobe was more valuable to his team than Steve Nash was to his. A lot of people felt Kobe should have been MVP, even though they was a 7th seed. But, you know, it is what it is. The Lakers had the Phoenix Suns up 3-1 in the playoffs as well, but, you know, they choked it away. You know, losing to the Suns. Then they played the Suns again in the first round. The next season, 2007, lost again. Kobe Bryant started getting fed up, man. He felt like the Lakers front office, you know, they haven't really been doing a great job with getting, you know, some good talent around them. So he threatened them, said he wanted to get traded. You know, Kobe came out later and said he really never wanted to go. He always wanted to be a Laker, but I guess he felt like he needed to put pressure on the Lakers front office to start getting the job done, get some talent. And next year, man, they, you know, later in the year, they got Pau Gasol. Lakers got to the finals. Kobe won his first MVP. The Lakers won 57 games. They got to the finals, but they lost in 6 to the Boston Celtics, who was a powerful team, man. That Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett. They had a young Rondo, but Rondo wasn't really great yet. He was a solid player, but you know, he wasn't like Rondo, you know, prime Rondo then, but he was there. But then after that, the Lakers won the next 2 championships. They defeated Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic. And then they defeated the Celtics in their rematch from 08. They beat the Celtics in 7. Kobe won Finals MVP both times. You know, that question about can Kobe win the championship without Shaq, question was answered. You know, move on a little later. You know, the next year, the Lakers was one of the favorites to win again, but they ran into a crazy hot Mavericks team. Dirk Nowitzki and them boys was on a mission. Imagine playing a basketball game and you put all the sliders up in your favorite to where you hardly ever miss a shot, and you playing on rookie difficulty level. That's how the Dallas Mavericks was playing in that playoffs. I might make a whole nother video about that run another time. You know, later on you had a team with Shaq, Kobe, Steve Nash, Pau Gasol. Not Shaq. I apologize. Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Kobe, Pau Gasol. A lot of injuries, terrible coaching decisions. I just didn't agree with the coaching staff they chose for that team. It didn't fit. They barely made the playoffs. Kobe got injured the last game. They got swept out of the first round. Kobe didn't even get to play in the playoffs. Kobe played up till 2016. His last game, he went out with a bang, man. He scored 60 points, bro. Kobe Bryant, 5-time champion, an MVP, 18-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA. Underrated stat, 12-time All-NBA defense, 2-time scoring champion, one of the all-time greats to ever pick up a ball, man. Tell me what y'all think about Kobe Bryant. Comment, like, share, subscribe. It's free. Big Dog out.